Yo, what's up? It's Draco King. I'm back. Alright, so this isn't a rank match. This is a discussion because I'll be honest, we all know that if you've seen a lot of my videos, you'll start noticing me talking about Dark Irregulars. I've had two different videos where I play Dark Irregulars a lot. I'm a Dark Irregulars guy. I have a Legion deck for Dark Irregulars. This to be said right now. No. It is not Almond. It's the Psychic Storm boys. I've been trying to figure out the best way to build this. I've had to contemplate a couple things because I feel like it's necessary to do so. As of right now, for DI, the best, and I mean best starter, still, until we get more later, is the Almond follower Fate Collector. At the end of a battle, when you have 6 soul or more, you can put that card in the soul after this unit after he boosts a card that battles, to draw 2 cards, then put a card from hand in soul. It's really good. You can choose a card that you want to put in soul for later, or just any card at that point. It's really good. We're not going to get a better card than that. I had to think really hard about how I wanted to build this. This deck is not going to be perfect because DI, as of right now, has absolutely no way to countercharge at all. So, I had to rethink a lot about how I wanted to do things because originally, my main grade 3 that I was playing off of was Bladewing Reiji. He wants to be at 15 soul. There's an issue with this now. His original skill just said as long as you are at 15 soul, you get the power and you get the critical. Well, you get 2 criticals. The issue now, which they nerfed him a while back, and it's still the issue. You need to be at limit break 4 to even get this skill going. It takes a long time to do, and he becomes a finisher at that point, which you're not really looking for a finisher. You're looking for something to help stall, because that's pretty much a lot. Well, sometimes you want to do that. But that raised a couple issues. Now, I don't feel the need to be at 15 soul. So, what am I doing now that's a little bit different? I was playing Yellow Bolt. My issue with Yellow Bolt at this moment is that I can just rest him the soul charge, which I need to specify this. In any other version of this deck would be a fantastic skill. To have constant soul charge is amazing, but I'm trying not to over soul charge now. Because this is a Legion style deck now. Almond's follower, Fool's Palm, when placed, if I have 6 cards in soul or more, I can discard a card from hand to draw a card. Really good. It's a draw drop, but the condition is you have to have 6 cards in soul. That's really good. Dimension Creeper is one of the best cards for grade 1s possible. It's simple. If he's in soul, you can put him to drop and soul charge 2. The entire goal of the Legion style deck is to be able to keep putting Dimension Creeper back into the deck also. So you can just get constant soul charge out of him. Grade 2s are interesting. Because I'm playing with the Psychic Legions, I have 3 of Psychic of Dust. This card, during the main phase, when cards go to your soul, if you're in the Legion state, this card gets +3 for each card that's been soul charged. So he can get high numbers. But he isn't really doing much else other than that, other than being the Legion mate. There's a lot of different things that come with this. Because right now, there isn't really a way to get rid of the front row units unless you're playing unless you're doing the whole Almond and Almond reverse package, which that's about the only way you could do it. But then you're not playing that. You're not playing Legion. So I had to really think about another way of doing things with this deck. I felt like I had to do a lot. But I think a lot of the key staples, Emblem Master, key staple. Because when attack hits the Vanguard, Counterblast, Soul Charge 3. Easy way to get 3 Soul. Yes, it's unlike Genesis, it's not control, which sometimes even in Genesis is not even a control Soul Charge. But you still get the soul you need. Because now we have a new cutoff. Also, I put back Free Traveler. Now, to be fair, I have never shown me playing Free Traveler, but before, or with early Reiji, in that meta, I was playing Free Traveler to get Dimension Creeper into Soul faster. Because this card, when it's placed, Counterblast 1, choose a grade 2 or lower card from your deck and immediately just put it to Soul. It's good. So now I'm back in that mode of trying to get Dimension Creeper into my Soul to Soul Blast it out so I can use it for Legion. Really good. Now, the next step. We're using the Imprisoned Fallen 8. This card has Resist. Normally you wouldn't be able to play this card, and normally you never really see this card played in a DI deck. The reason why it's played is because now you can use it, because the reason why I originally wouldn't play it is because it has Resist as Restraint. Sorry. But you can Soul Blast 2. Now, you Soul Blast 2, it loses Restraint. Why is that a good thing? You're Soul Blasting 2 cards from Soul. You don't need every last card in Soul. We don't need a huge Soul now. And the reason we don't need a huge Soul is because Psychic of Storm, Rigel, I am going to say his name probably wrong. Hopefully I did get it right that time. Now, also notice, at the moment right now, I've been trying to figure out the best way to play with my triggers. I am testing out crits. I like the idea of crits right now. I'm going a bit slower. I understand that I don't have the best way of getting rid of grade 2s right now. So, to combat this, I'm going to make my Vanguard swing the best Vanguard swing I can by trying to trigger my criticals. So why did I say that we have a new cutoff point? The new cutoff point is to have 10 Soul because of these Legion's abilities. When this card attacks the Vanguard, if you're in the Legion state, if you have 6 or more cards in your Soul, Counterblast 2, retire 2 of your opponent's rear guards. If you have 10 or more cards in Soul, you can retire 1 more. Basically, it's saying that you can technically take out a person's back row. Because remember, your opponent normally will have 2 grade 2s in the front row. You blast through those, you attack the Vanguard, Counterblast 2. If you have 10 cards in Soul, you're wiping out their entire back row immediately. Then, he has a once per turn skill. You put a card that has the same name as your Vanguard from your Soul to drop to Soul Charge 5. He can immediately Soul Charge very well. And all you need to do is, if he's in the Legion state, Soul Blast the grade 2, or if you just Soul Charged a copy of him, Soul Blast that out. It's really good. Next is Psychic of Ash, Hater. He's a bit of a different situation. He gives power to himself if you have 6 or more cards in Soul when he's in Legion, which is meh. And then when he's at 10 Soul, you can give 2 other units plus 5. Which in hindsight, if we're in a situation in where they only have one grade 2 rear guard that has the ability to intercept, where you have one of your units take it out, you swing with the Vanguard, you have 10 cards in Soul, and then you can give the other column plus 5, which in reality you're giving them plus 10. That's actually good, because that will help you hit over magic numbers. And then his once per turn skill is, if you have a grade 3 or greater in Soul, you can Soul Blast it out to Soul Charge 2, which is good. It's a bit slower than than his better counterpart, but it's still a soul charge. I am playing a one of Blade Wing Reiki because I did say that I don't need 15 cards in soul. That doesn't mean I can't get to it, especially because we have to remember it's the Legionnaire. When he goes over a Legion, those two that entire thing counts as 2 cards in your soul in addition to whatever you already had. So let's say I had 10 cards in soul, then while I was in the Legion state, I ride Reiki. That immediately now I have I almost had 13. I have 12 cards in soul, and then I can freely be able to soul charge with a whole lot of other different things because it's Dark Irregulars. I can. So in some ways, I'm able to do it. I can get to that point. This is another bread and butter card that is a key essential card for this deck. The Demon Chariot. Because when you place him on the rear guard or Vanguard, even though you would really want to do it on the rear guard, he can make a copy of himself, the Carriage, and Demon Bike and immediately put him in the deck. That's 3 free cards that you just create out of thin air and you put the deck. You're putting an additional heal to your deck. Now imagine, if you will, that you end up let's say you have a really bad hand and you have 3 of them in hand, but you can still attain the Legion state. You put all 3 down. You have 4 heals and 2 extra cards into the deck every time. You put 1 down. Then the cards that you had put down, they all go to the damage zone. Not damage, sorry, to your drop zone. You immediately Legion. You put all those heals back to your deck. You have 8 heals now in deck. That is the best situation to do that. It's not 100% guaranteed, but you're still playing with a lot more heals at that point and recurring them. It's not the best strategy. There are flaws with this. And the reason why there's flaws is because there isn't a most reliable way of getting rid of your opponent's front row, and you're going against meta decks that can easily countercharge, easily hit you again. We're playing around with this purely for the fun, and I'm pretty sure there are like 100 different ways you can improve. Now, obviously, the big thing would be like, well, why don't you just make Almond leaders? You have the material. I do not want to build the Almond leader deck. No. Reason being, that deck has a horrible capability of soul charging itself out hard. When I mean hard, I mean hard. Now, yes, if you're smart, you won't, but it's too tempting to do so. I'm silly. I'll do it just because I can. Now, and also, yes, it is strong, but we're still working off of the original Almond because he doesn't have the ability to retire Jack. You're relying on the original Almond to retire units. Almond is Counterblast 1. You put one of your rear guards to soul to retire one of your opponent's rear guards. Prioritizing randomly in the back row first. Now, we're always playing with the assumption that they have cards in the back row. You have to play with that assumption. There'll be times, yes, when your opponent will only have front row rear guards, and so you're able to just snipe them afterwards. But we can't play in that mindset of, they'll just have just 2 cards in the front row, pop, I can smack for game. You never know that. You have to play with the idea that they more than likely are going to have things that you can pop in the back row. And you still have to clear their front row, which then you're playing around the whole thing of, well, they'll just PG, which more likely they will. With the free accessibility of being able to just draw a butt ton of cards, it kind of makes it more realistic to that's what's going to happen. But this is all free thought. I'll be 100% honest with you, because it's hard to really process different strategies with DI at the current moment. Because let's be real. Out of all the cards that DI could have got, no one should have been like, oh yeah, we were waiting for this. This is the card that's going to take us even higher. This is the revamp of DI. No. Whoever thought that was delusional, DI is fun. And I love the fact that it's fun. But I'd hate relying on Almond every time to get us out of situations. And while I will admit, I'm a Reiji fan, Reiji can only do so much, especially after that nerf. If they never nerfed him, he would have just stayed a relevant problem. So yes, I'm in the camp of he needed to be nerfed, but that only shows his flaws. You can't really do much with him at certain points, which is fine. Because in some ways he's a finisher, some ways he shouldn't be. It just depends on how you play him. I just wanted to get these thoughts out. And I wanted to show the current deck construction. I'll probably show a game or two later. But if you enjoyed this little thought process video, and I do actually kind of enjoy doing it because I like to get my thoughts out. So if you want to see more, leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video around with people. But if you didn't like the video, understandable, just please give me ways on how I can improve. Comment on that. So until next time, peace.